You bought your phone. Or at least you think you did. You paid up front, maybe over 24 months. You walked out of the store feeling like it was yours. But then the updates slowed down. The battery started fading. Apps stopped working as smoothly. And suddenly you weren't really owning it anymore. You were renting time. Now zoom out. Your movies? Subscription. Your music? Subscription. Your software? Subscription. Your car? Leasing. Your house? A 30-year loan. Even your mattress can be paid monthly. Somewhere along the way, ownership quietly disappeared. And almost no one noticed. This matters more than it seems. Because when you stop owning things, you don't just change how you spend money. You change your relationship with money entirely. And right now, that shift is accelerating. Not loudly, not dramatically, but silently everywhere. Let's rewind. Owning things used to be simple. You saved money. You bought something. It was yours. A car, a CD collection, a software disk, a house. There was a clear moment where the transaction ended. After that, no more payments. No more permissions. No more dependencies. You had control. And companies? They got paid once. That was the old model. Now compare that to today. Instead of paying once, you pay forever. Netflix doesn't sell you movies. Spotify doesn't sell you music. Adobe doesn't sell you software. They sell access. And access can be revoked. Miss a payment. Everything disappears. No ownership. Just permission. At first, this felt like a good deal. Lower upfront costs. More flexibility. Affordable monthly payments. It felt easier. But easier doesn't always mean cheaper. Here's where it gets interesting. Let's take something simple. A $1,000 product. Old system. You pay $1,000 once. New system. You pay $15 a month. That sounds small. Almost harmless. But over 5 years, that's $900. Over 10 years, $1 to $800. You've paid almost double. And still don't own anything. That's the trade. Lower pain up front. Higher cost over time. And it works. Because humans don't feel money in totals. We feel it in moments. $1,000 hurts. 15 feels invisible. So companies redesigned pricing around psychology, not value. And once you see it, you start seeing it everywhere. Phones are designed to age just fast enough. Software is locked behind subscriptions. Features are drip-fed behind paywalls. Even cars are starting to charge monthly fees for things like heated seats. Not because it's necessary, but because it's predictable revenue. And predictable revenue is everything. A one-time sale is risky. A subscription is stable. Investors love stability. Markets reward it. So companies shifted from selling products to building pipelines of recurring income. And that changes how everything is built. Products are no longer designed to last forever. They're designed to keep you paying. Think about that. In the past, durability was a selling point. Now, engagement is. It's not about how long something lasts. It's about how long you stay subscribed. That's a completely different incentive. And it leads to something subtle. Ownership used to give you freedom. Now access creates dependence. You don't own your media. You don't own your tools. Sometimes you don't even own your data. You're renting your digital life. And the landlord can change the terms anytime. Prices go up. Features disappear. Policies shift. You adapt. Because you have no alternative. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. This isn't just about convenience. It's about cash flow. When you own something, your expenses eventually go down. When you rent everything, your expenses never stop. They stack. $10 here, $20 there, $50 somewhere else. Individually, they feel small. Together, they become your baseline. Your normal cost of living quietly rises. Not because things got more expensive overnight, but because everything turned into a monthly bill. And once it becomes a bill, it becomes part of your survival. You can cancel a luxury. It's harder to cancel infrastructure. Music becomes background noise you rely on. Software becomes necessary for work. Cloud storage holds your memories. You're not just paying for products anymore. You're paying to maintain your life as it currently exists. Now zoom out even further. Why is this happening now? Because the entire economy is shifting toward recurring revenue. Not just companies, investors, banks, even governments. Predictability is power. If a company can guarantee monthly income, it becomes easier to borrow money, easier to expand, easier to dominate competitors. Subscriptions smooth out uncertainty, and uncertainty is what markets hate the most. So the system naturally rewards this model, even if it slowly drains consumers. Now add another layer. Debt. Because renting and subscriptions don't just replace ownership. They combine with debt. You finance your phone. You lease your car. You take a mortgage for your house. So now you're not just renting access. You're also paying interest, which means two things are happening at the same time. You're losing ownership and paying extra for the privilege. That's a powerful combination, and it creates a kind of financial gravity. You need steady income just to maintain your position, not to grow, not to get ahead, just to stay where you are. Miss that income, things start disappearing. Services shut off. Assets get repossessed. Access gets revoked. Ownership used to act like a buffer. Now that buffer is thinner, and in some cases, gone. There's an irony here. We've never had more access to things. Movies, tools, information, transportation. Everything is available instantly. But at the same time, we've never owned less. It feels like abundance, but it's actually dependence. And that changes behavior. When you own something, you think long-term. When you rent, you think short-term. You optimize for monthly payments, not lifetime cost. You chase affordability, even if it's more expensive in the end. And that's exactly what the system wants. Because long-term thinking reduces consumption. Short-term thinking increases it. Now here's the part most people miss. This shift doesn't just affect your wallet. It affects wealth building. Ownership creates assets. Assets can appreciate. They can be sold. They can generate income. Subscriptions do none of that. They are pure expense. No upside. Only access. So if more of your money flows into subscriptions, less of it goes into assets, which means less wealth accumulation over time. It's subtle, but powerful. And over decades, it compounds. Now imagine two people. One spends $500 a month on subscriptions, leases, and finance products. The other spends the same amount, but gradually converts it into owned assets. At first, they look identical. Same lifestyle, same spending. But 10 years later, one has nothing but access. The other has ownership. That gap doesn't show up immediately. But when it does, it's massive. Now zoom out to the global level. If entire populations shift from owning to renting, wealth concentrates. Because ownership doesn't disappear. It moves from individuals to institutions. Large companies own the assets. Consumers pay for access. Over and over again. This creates a feedback loop. Companies earn predictable income. They use that income to acquire more assets. Those assets generate more income. Meanwhile, consumers keep paying. But don't accumulate. It's efficient. It's scalable. And from a business perspective, it's brilliant. From a personal finance perspective, it's something else. Now, to be fair, not everything should be owned. Some things are better rented. Flexibility has value. Not being locked into outdated products matters. Subscriptions can be useful. Leasing can make sense. But the balance has shifted. Quietly. Systematically. And most people never stop to question it. Because each decision feels small. $10, $20, $30. No single choice feels significant. But together, they redefine how you live and how you build wealth. So the real question isn't whether renting is good or bad. It's this. If everything in your life becomes a monthly payment, what do you actually own at the end of it? And more importantly, what happens if one day those payments stop?